Well, g'day folks, and welcome to Outdoors with BT. I'm BT, you can call me Brian, and today we're indoors in my shed where I'm going to be undertaking a couple of small projects. Now, before we go any further with that, I just want to say that I hope you've all had a fantastic Christmas, and how about the cricket? Australia has absolutely smashed the Poms. And Scott Boland, 7 for 6 on debut. How good is that? Anyway, enough of the cricket. My wife is a big Pinterest fan. She gets on there just about every day to find things for me to do. Anyway, she spotted this. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's just a small plant pot holder made out of some wood. So that's what I'm going to have a crack at today. Okay, so the items and equipment that I'm going to need for this project are some timber for the base and the upright portion. In this case, I've got some reclaimed tassie oak from another project that I did, and I've kept some offcuts. A bucket to put your pot plant in, not your pot plant, but your pot plant. A cup hook, which will be attached to the top of the upright portion to hang the pot on. Two screws to attach the upright to the base. Some drill bits, a drill, and a countersink bit. Okay, I've already cut the upright portion out on the bandsaw and given it a bit of a sand on the belt sander just to get the saw marks out of it. What I'm going to do now is using my router and a round over bit, I'm just going to run the router around the edges on both sides and on the base just to break off that sharp corner. Okay, so I've used my router and a round over bit, and I've rounded over all the edges except for the part on the base, obviously, and around the edge of the base plate. Now what I'm going to do is just give it a final sand with some 120 and 240 grit sandpaper and try and get some of these burn marks off from the router. And then I'll attach the base Sorry, then I'll attach the upright part to the base. Okay, so that's the sanding completed. Next comes probably the most critical part of the whole build, and that is to decide which way the upright part is going to face. Just across the square or at a diagonal like so. Difficult choice, so I asked my wife, and she said that she wanted it diagonally, so diagonally it is. Next thing I'm going to do is mark the position of the upright on the baseboard, mark it with a pencil so that I can drill the holes for the screws to go through. And I'm thinking kind of about there would be okay. Just some light marks there, so I can clean them up later. Alright, so now to drill the holes. Okay, what I'm going to do now is just put the screws in through the base, just until the points are protruding, and then I will sit the upright part over those screws so that I can mark the spot to drill this part. Nicely done. I've got a couple of little visitors to the shed. Hello Mick. That's my little friend Mickey, and that's my other little friend Pud. Hello boys. Good boys. Yeah, the trick here is to drill deep enough without popping through the top. The front one's going to be the issue, the back one not so much. Okay, now before I put the upright on the base, I'm going to drill a hole for the cup hook in the top part here. I'll need a smaller drill bit, so I'll just swap them over. Okay folks, and that, as they say, is that. All that remains to be done now is for the piece to be finished off with a coat or a couple of coats of this Organoil Danish Oil. I love this stuff, I love the smell of it, I love the finish it leaves on the timber. Might not be the cheapest on the market, but it certainly is probably the best. Anyway, enough talk, I'll get on with it. I try and go with the grain where possible. And there is the finished product, ladies and gents. Didn't take long, a couple of hours with breaks for the cricket. That'll keep the wife happy. Happy wife, happy life.